Hello family, this is the second part to the first video I made, which was truncated very abruptly. Really sorry about that. So this second part relates to the location or the choice of the venue for the protest. I strongly feel that there should be no protest held in that location. That's the 37 junction, yeah. And these are my reasons. Okay, the first reason, which I feel is the strongest and compelling, is that it's located right outside, or it was located right outside a hospital. Okay, a major hospital in the capital. Okay, of Ghana, which is Accra. The 37 military hospital caters for a huge number of people, and I believe it's also an accident and emergency hospital as well. Okay, and you have emergency ambulance vehicles. Okay, plying that route. Okay, going to the A&E. So there's bound to be obstruction where potentially lives could be lost. Okay, and I think there was someone who was speaking to one of the protesters, and he was very, very incensed that they were obstructing the road. And unfortunately, one of the protesters made some unfortunate, comments. I don't believe he meant it, but he shouldn't have said the things that he said. Okay, because if you have a loved one whose life is in danger, and is in an ambulance, and they need to get through, okay, then you would be able to feel the way that gentleman was feeling. I can personally relate to that because I remember my wife, needing an ambulance, and the Ghana Ambulance Service could not provide me with an ambulance. Okay, even though I live in the airport residential area, okay, which is very close to 37 Military Hospital. Ghana Ambulance Service could not provide me with an ambulance. Okay, and unfortunately, my wife died. Okay, so I know what I'm talking about, and I know what it feels like to lose a loved one under those circumstances. Okay, so I would strongly urge the police administration and the protesters alike, okay, for future reference, not to choose that location, and for the police not to allow any protest at that location. That's one. The second reason is that the presidential palace is right next to the hospital, I believe, yeah? And so that would then be classed as a security zone, okay? And I don't think, again, you should be having a protest right there, okay? So, but for me, what is even more important is that there is a hospital, okay, right next to where the protesters had blocked the road, okay? So I'm calling on the Inspector General of Police, please tag the Inspector General of Police for me, okay, and the President as well, to stop any further protests taking place there. And also the leadership, I'm also asking that you tag the leadership of the protesters to seriously desist from holding protests at sensitive locations like that, okay? There should be no protest next to hospitals, okay? I believe schools, I believe highly sensitive, establishments, like the presidential palace, the airport, okay, Tema Port and the likes, okay. So please, 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 especially hospitals, we shouldn't be protesting outside a hospital. That raises serious health and safety, concerns. Okay, so this vlog is specifically for the police administration and the leadership of the protesters. Okay, I'm appealing to them with the greatest of respect, okay, from one human being to another, okay, that, they could be in a situation themselves where they need, emergency health care. And if they were to, I'm just going to give a hypothetical scenario. Imagine themselves in an ambulance, needing, you know, to get to the hospital, and there are some people protesting, and they've obstructed the road, okay, unlawfully, because I don't believe the police actually granted the protesters official permission, okay, to hold a protest there. I'm not entirely sure about that, okay. Yes, in the previous video, I'm calling for their release because I don't agree with the decision taken by the police, okay, uh, on humanitarian grounds and in recognizing, the the breaches of their human rights. I'm calling for their immediate release, okay. But also, we're looking at the operational procedures that have been put in place for protest, to be held, okay. It has to be done in conjunction with the police, okay. According to the Constitution, you have every right to protest, and that should be respected, okay. And but then it has to be done in conjunction with the police, okay. So the police obviously would tell you that yes, it can be done. We have availability on this date or this day, this time, and the locations that are available to you are these locations. Okay, please choose one. We cannot use the location that you've requested, and these are the reasons why. Okay, and so there should be that kind of free flow of communication and that rapport between protests and the police. Okay, the police must be seen to be professionally independent. Okay, of political parties and government, because the police is a state institution. There's a difference between government and there's a difference between state. The government will come and go, but the state institutions will remain, the judiciary and the likes. They have to be professionally independent, okay? And I think, we don't want to create a misconception that, the government is influencing the police. Okay, I don't believe that that's the case. I believe the police are very professional. They are very independent, and they are doing their work as best as they can. Okay, given the circumstances. Okay. However, the protesters, I also, I admire their public-spirited nature. They are true patriots, and they're doing something that we should all be doing, and so we should encourage them and not discourage them, okay. But I don't want to find themselves, I'm trying to appeal to you, protesters, so you don't do something where people will say that you've broken the law, and then you'll be arrested and detained, which is very sad and unfortunate. It defeats the object of what you're doing, okay. So let's all abide by the law. Ghana is a democratic nation, and we believe in the rule of law. Okay, we should be law-abiding citizens. Okay, and so please, protesters, don't take the law into your hands. Don't assault police officers. Don't do anything which is will be in breach of the peace. Okay, and the police, I'm also respectfully appealing to you to try your hardest, to police, these protests in a way that, issues of conflict will be brought to a barest minimum, okay? And I would like to say the police have also done a great job, and like I said in my previous video, and the protesters have also done a great job in the way they are highlighting this major issue, okay? Except that apart from the unfortunate, developments which led to the arrest, and that's what we're all calling for, the immediate release of the protesters, okay? Especially the 10-year-old girl. Please, 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 please release this minor immediately. I'm also calling for the immediate release of the 62-year-old lady, okay? Especially. And of course, everyone else, and including the pregnant lady. This should be a high priority release of this the pregnant lady who is 4 months pregnant, the 10-year-old kid, and the 62-year-old senior citizen. These three people must be released, and anyone with any serious health issues must be released immediately. Okay? This has gone on to CNN. It looks very bad on us. We need to put it right. Okay? There is a serious breach of the human rights of these people. Okay? And the irresponsible people who are destroying the water bodies of Ghana, okay, must be brought to book. The police administration must be seen to be doing their work. The Forestry Commission of Ghana must be seen to be doing their work. The Minerals Commission, Ministry of Environment, or I don't know, I can't remember the name of the ministry responsible for mining, Ministry of Mining, whoever they are, okay? Don't go and hold public office to go and steal, to go and be awarding illegal contracts, okay, to your cronies. These are the people destroying Ghana, and they should all be brought to book. Don't go and hold public office if you're not going to do the work you are required to do. Okay? Enough is enough. This rubbish must stop. You are there taking salaries, allowances, living official residences, and you're not doing what you're required to do. If you can't do the job, then get out. You should be sacked. All the people who are in charge of mining, and all the people who are in charge of the forest areas, ought to be sacked. This is a disgrace. The waters have been destroyed so badly. I'm calling on the president to sack the people in charge with immediate effect. They ought to be sacked because they have failed the people of Ghana. They have failed the people of Ghana. Mr. President, take firm and decisive action. If it is proven that there's been negligence on the part of any public officer, they should be prosecuted. Right, I'm going to end this vlog here, but like I said, there are very important issues that I needed to, highlight. Well, I don't think I highlighted it very well in my first video. That's why I had to do the second video. That there should be no protest outside a hospital. That's wrong. There should be no protest outside a school. Those type of, sensitive, institutions where there'll be major health and safety concerns. Okay, so please, in future, coordinate with or liaise with the police administration. And I'm calling the police administration. Please don't permit that. Okay. And I believe, all our strategic assets, you have, the presidential palace, you have the airport, where people are traveling and, they don't want to be obstructed. You don't want to miss their flights. You have Tema Port and the likes, all those type of places, hospitals, most importantly, okay, should not be obstructed, okay? And if wherever you are holding these protests, if there's an emergency vehicle coming through, there should be a free corridor for them to free flow through, okay? But preferably don't hold a protest right next to a hospital. 37 military hospital is, literally outside where you held that protest, okay? That should not happen again. I'm pleading with the police administration to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And I'm also pleading with the protesters to bear these things in mind, okay, when they're planning their protest, okay? And I think, like I said, I commend all of you for the great work that you've done, the police and the protesters alike. Okay, the protesters are highlighting this major, issue, and then the police for the excellent way you've managed the protest as a whole, apart from the, the setback of, the arrest, which is unfortunate, but I do respect your professional judgment in that regard, but it's unfortunate that the human rights of these protesters have been breached, okay? So I want to say a big thank you for listening. If you're new to this channel, this is a social justice platform highlighting the plight of, people in distress, up and down the country and all over. the world. Anyone who is experiencing any injustice, I will talk about it. If there's something that I haven't spoken about and you'd like me to, please feel free, drop me a text, and I will, talk about it. If you agree with me, that's fine. If you don't, please feel free and express that, because I welcome, divergent views. Okay. Um, Knowledge does not reside in the head of one person. We're all on board. In nation building, we want the best for Ghana. We want the best for the world. We should be able to coexist in peace as